Hey, what's up? This is Drake here. I was coming back with another Elden Ring Night Rain video. I was going to go over a basic guide video for how to play, how to level, and stuff like that. I mean, I know the game's been out for a while. I've really been enjoying it. I've been doing a lot of multiplayer. But that seems to be the hardest thing about the game, I guess. You know, the boss fights are kind of self-explanatory, but the maps are kind of random RNG, and there are certain things that are more higher value targets and others, and certain things that are just a big heaping waste of time. And most of the randoms that I play with just don't seem to really know which one is which. And I was going to go over this. The only thing, I mean, you can run however you want. I just made a video over this build, but I would recommend having increased rune acquisition for self and allies, whether you're doing solo or multiplayer. I believe it's 10% per person. So, I mean, this right here is probably the most valuable thing in the game, in my opinion, just because being max level is the biggest damage, HP, and defense boost you can get. Everything else, as you can see, we've completed everything. And I don't know, we'll just run one. I'm just going to do a solo, and I'm not going to do a run. I was going to try to keep it kind of short, but I'm just going to try to go over a few things that just some basics on what you should do, when you should do it, and what you should avoid. Like bell-bearing hunter, avoid bell-bearing hunter at all costs. He is not worth it. Even if you could manage to get the clear, he is far too tanky. It takes far too long to get the clear. Alright, these green ones are usually your best first targets. The green ones are usually the easiest bosses. And what you want to do, I'm not really going to worry much with it doing it, but you want to kind of route. Like, first thing you want to do is find your churches. There'll always be 3. And if you're lucky, like I am here, they're clustered close together. If you're unlucky, they'll be scattered on 3 corners of the map, and you'll have trouble getting to them. And you want to grab at least 3. That way you have 7 heals by final boss fight. The other 2 first day priority targets are these, because these are the easy bosses. Like I said, the green ones are the easiest bosses, and these, because these are your castle, and the castles have a chance to, if it's the right spawns on them, they will usually always have a stone sword key, and then that makes your Everjoles, or Everjails, however you want to say them, the next most important target. So for this route, what I would do, and usually there'll always be a camp like there. That camp is just there for you to get level. Do not try to do anything at level 1. Go in there. It's always enough to get you 1 level. Get to level 2, and then go take this out. And then my route would be drop here, see if I can't get a stone sword key, and use markers so that your team can coordinate and know what you're doing, what you're wanting to do. I will clear this. Usually it's an easy boss. Usually there's a chest with a stone sword key. As soon as I get the stone sword key, I would like to hit this and get a heal, and then I would like to hit the Everjole and get that clear, because they give you like double rune rewards. And if you're running the right route like I am, they give you an attack boost, but they give you runes for killing the enemy that's there, plus they give you a rune reward as the boss drop. And then the other thing that you're kind of looking for after that in first day is I would really like to hit a mine. The mines will always have a boss. Usually the bosses, they don't. Something's trying to kill me. But the bosses don't have health bars in the mines. But you'll know, like, this one here's got a troll at the end that drops a level 2 stone. You're gonna get killed. But yeah, like, this one has a troll at the end that drops a level 2 stone that will get your basic weapons up to epic rarity purple, and that's as high as you can take it, other than getting a legendary drop from a legendary enemy. And the other thing will be these are marked with what weapons they're likely to drop. So if I'm doing Gaping Jaw and I don't have a poison weapon, I want to prioritize this to get my poison weapon. This is a holy. If I'm doing end boss, I want to prioritize this to try to get a holy weapon, and I want to try to do these on day 1. I want to try to do as many of these little ones on day 1 as possible, because they're really good for leveling up quick. Day 2, they lose value quickly. Ideally, by day 2, you've got 1 more church to hit, and then we'll go central if we don't have a shifting earth event. And usually shifting earth, if you're familiar with it, that should be prioritized. But if it's not shifting earth, day 2, you should go directly to central camp. but I would say at least be level 8 before you go central. And there's a couple things you want to look out for. Like, central can be one of two ways. It will either have trolls up top that are throwing pots, or they'll have the carrying knights everywhere. I guess it just depends on the build, which one you like. The trolls throwing pots are probably the worst because there's like 4 of them and they're just constantly throwing. What you want to do is go in the basement. Take out the basement boss first. Hope it's not the bell-bearing hunter, because if it is, you're just going to have a really bad day. Once you get that, go up the stairs, and there's a guaranteed talisman drop up there, and it will take you to the inside of the central castle. All right, central castle is, if it's trolls, prioritize trolls, because they will just straight up nuke you with those pots. You have to get them out of there before you can do anything else. And there's always a boss up top that drops around 100,000 runes on final day, which is enough for one final upgrade, usually level 15. But there is a few, like I said, if it's bell-bearing hunter, don't do it. It's not worth it. If it's one of the tree spirits, it's probably not worth it, just because it's such a small arena that when they explode, there is no way to get out of it. You will probably get one-shotted. And that's about it. Just clear the entire castle and hope for level 15 before the end of second day. The other thing will be the what they call legendary or formidable enemies that spawn randomly around the map. Those can be really good or really bad. There's a few of them that you want to look out for. Like bell-bearing hunter, don't really want to mess with him. Any gargoyles, they're not worth it. I mean, you can clear them. I'm not saying they're impossible, but for the amount of time, remember, you're on a timer. So for the amount of time you have to invest for the amount of runes they give you back, it is not worth it. Any gargoyles are immune to all status ailments, so it just makes them that much tankier. And also the deathrite birds. Usually the deathrite bird is not worth even messing with, just because he's kind of the same way. Deathrite birds, I don't think, take any ailments, so to speak of, so they're just super tanky and hit really hard. Honestly, I think there needs to be a little balancing done on the game, because some of the formidable enemies you can just almost one-shot, and others have 100k life. It seems to be no rhyme or reason. You just learn to avoid them at basically all cost. Yeah, see, we got the troll spawn this time on this castle, so that would be what I would want to prioritize. But do not try to go central castle day one. Like, it's a very bad idea, unless you just got a team that's absolutely nuking everything they come close to. That's basically it. There's always a blacksmith somewhere around the outside of the castle. I think there's actually 2. You can kind of look for the little smoke, see the fire up there. That's where you can upgrade your weapon. There's always 2 around this castle, and usually there'll always be one outside each one of these camps. Sometimes, usually inside or outside, and usually there'll always be one close to these camps. So that's where your blacksmiths are located. Another thing you want to prioritize, because you really, I mean, that's one of the easiest things to do. Just get a smithing stone too, and make sure you've got at least an epic rarity weapon when you go into the final boss fight. That's about it. Just learn your route. Like I said, prioritize, get your heals, try to get your stone sword keys, try to get the right element you want. Do the easy camps day one, and then come to central camp and just clean house. Second day, do as much as possible before the timer runs out, because you are on a timer. The basic enemies in the central camp give you as many runes most of the time as the bosses do, or if not more than the bosses do on these on second day. And that's why you really just want to prioritize it. But, I mean, that's about it. Can't really think of anything else that I'm missing. There's just a lot of, and most of the fight's just a timer. You just need the time to clear the stuff before you're forced into the circle, into the boss fight that you're not prepared for. That's it. I just figured I'd put this guide video out, a little basic information everyone should know, kind of routing, how to get the most out of your runs, and, you know, not struggle. Like, if you come across a world boss and you hit him one time and it barely moves his life bar, disengage. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your levels on it. Come back second day if you can, or just avoid him altogether, because like I said, I think it needs a little scaling adjustment, because some of the world bosses are just super hard to fight, and other ones are, you can just melt them in a few seconds. You just learn to pick your poison. It's not that you can't, it's just that you don't have time. The amount of time you invest into it to the amount of runes that they give back just is not worth it when you can clear 3 easy bosses compared to 1 hard one and get 3 times the runes for it. That's the main thing. Just prioritize your time. If something seems like it's taking too long, don't feel bad about abandoning it, coming back, and if you have to come back second day, their life bar will still be decreased from where you fought them before. So you can always make that a viable option. Anyway, that's it for the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If I've missed anything, leave it in the comments. I don't claim to know everything about the game, but I do have about 100 hours in it, so I have a bit of experience. And as always, click that sub button if you want to see more. It really helps support the channel. And thanks for watching.